by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
All right, if you can listen closer, just imagine the view here. That's a live shot right now. We're looking down at Memorial Stadium. The Fighting Illini Marching Band doing a little practicing, it looks like, out there tonight. The weather could be far worse. It's not terrible. A little cloudy. Rain showers, though, are going to start to move in late tonight. It gets pretty wet out there. We're going to see a large area of precipitation start to move off to the north and east. And you guessed it, it's another cold rain that we've got. 50 in Champaign, 49 in Effingham. And temperatures stay pretty chilly through tonight. Don't move a whole lot, hanging in the mid-40s for much of tonight with that rain moving in. More about how long the rain sticks around when we come back. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
Mental health experts are worried about how this crisis is impacting teenagers, the signs parents should be looking for. Plus, boys and girls basketball was put on hold by the governor, but that is hardly the end of it. How the IHSA is defying that order today.
And a region in central Illinois could be seeing more restrictions soon. How long it has before the state cracks down.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 5.
It's a big deal to say to government officials or a Department of Public Health that, you know, we're going to go a different direction than how you're advising.
Yes, it is. The IHSA is going against Governor Pritzker and public health guidelines and is giving the green light to the high school basketball seasons. Good evening. I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. A bold move from the IHSA and a monumental day for athletes, parents, and coaches. Our sports director, Brett Behrens, is here now, and this was surprising.
A shocker. I don't think many people were expecting the IHSA to go this route because, like you heard Executive Director Craig Anderson say there, this is unprecedented. I mean, they are going against government officials here and their regulations. And remember, just 24 hours ago, the governor put high school basketball, quote, on hold, saying it wasn't safe due to COVID-19. Now the IHSA says it's not going to follow those rules, and there are so many layers to break this down. Here are a few of the basics, though. Basketball teams can start practice November 16th. Games will begin November 30th. Players, coaches, officials, everyone in the gym must wear masks at all times. That includes during games, and there will be a 50-person limit indoors for the games. The decision to play, though, will be up to each school district, not the IHSA. Through it all, Craig Anderson says he feels the season can be played safely.
The things we have in place, while we don't have the testing that maybe collegiate or the Big Ten Conference might have when they're playing basketball, I think the self-monitoring that we've instituted and are asking our schools to do, in addition to the other protocols and guidelines that we've put in place, really lend itself to us conducting basketball safely.
The IHSA will follow the Sport Medicine Advisory Committee protocols. We'll have so much more on this coming up tonight at 6. To read more on it right now, though, just head to our website, WCIA.com. We've got multiple videos there, including some from the governor, who had a stern rebuttal for the IHSA today and all those school districts that are going to be making the decisions whether to send their teams out to play or not. They could certainly face some legal litigation. I think that's the biggest question.
That's going to be a big hang-up right now because, you know, schools don't want to be on the hook for any more money than they possibly are right now.
Bingo.
All right, Brett, thanks.
So from sports to theater to a whole range of extracurriculars, this hasn't been a normal year for teenagers. Mental health counselors say they are seeing an uptick in stress and emotional trauma now.
It's been a tough year for everyone, especially students who have seen a big disruption in their lives with the loss of basic milestones.
With hundreds of teenagers in central Illinois learning remotely, counselors are worried they might not be getting the help they need as quickly. Counselors want families to know the signs of stress. WCIA 3's Jen Lask is with us. So what should parents look out for?
Jennifer, counselors say parents should be on the lookout for changes in habits. That could be changes in sleep or eating patterns. I spoke with Gail Rainey at Rosecrans. She says those changes aren't necessarily a sign of something bad, but it could be a good conversation starter. If you notice your teen no longer enjoys some of the activities they normally would, again, talk to them. Rainey says they've noticed an uptick in referrals for teens and adults for substance use over the last several months as well.
We're noticing that some of the normal institutional supports that are there for youth, they don't look the same as they do in any other year. And so some of the referrals even to our services, they look different as well.
And as school districts have also been reiterating to us, their social workers and counselors are still resources, whether teens are learning in person or at home. Likewise, Rosecrans is also offering Zoom and in-person therapy. Rainey suggests journaling about your feelings or use a legal pad and get out in nature. As the temperatures get colder out here, we're all wondering, how does that work? Well, she says even watching nature videos like this one from CBS Sunday Morning can help boost your moods. Back to you, Jennifer. I'm just going to be watching this for a bit now.
I can see how that would help. All right, thank you. Now, we've shared a list of resources and contact information on our website at WCIA.com, from mental health text lines to suicide prevention hotlines to emotional well-being suggestions from counselors. Rosecrans is also offering virtual counseling and a parent cafe for support.
Governor Pritzker warned today bars and restaurants could be shut down for indoor service in Springfield starting this weekend. The positivity rate for Region 3 has been above the 8% threshold for 2 straight days. One more, and the state cracks down. WCIA 3's Cole Henke is live in Springfield. So, Cole, how are local officials responding today?
The Sangamon County Public Health Director said it's not that surprising that these extra mitigations could be coming soon. The region is seeing larger numbers of cases all over the western part of the state, but Sangamon County specifically has been seeing major spikes. The 8% positivity rate that the Illinois Department of Public Health is actually from this past weekend. In Sangamon County alone, there were nearly 300 cases total reported over those 3 days. If those mitigations go into place, restaurants and bars won't be able to have people inside.
I mean, I think with the numbers we've been having, it has seemed inevitable, but I don't want that to come across that people can't help turn it around.
Public officials, including the mayor of Springfield, asked the governor to change the plans for mitigations to allow for restaurants to still have indoor dining. But the governor says he has no plans to change the playbook. And Region 6, which includes Champaign County, is also close to seeing these extra mitigations. Today was the first day that they saw a positivity rate over 8%. 2 more days of that, and those rules will come to Region 6 as well. Paul?
All right, Cole, thanks for that update. Let's take a look now at COVID numbers from across the state. Health officials reported more than 6,100 new cases in the last 24 hours. That brings the total number of infections above 389,000 since the pandemic began back in March in the U.S. Now, the 7-day rolling positivity rate, 6.7% across the state. Hospitalization rates continue to rise as well. More than 2,800 people are in a hospital bed today. 600 in the ICU, 243 on a ventilator. 51 more people have died, 1 each in Macon and Piatt counties. Illinois has lost more than 9,600 people to the coronavirus.
Police are investigating a shooting near Indiana State University. It happened in Terre Haute this morning. 1 person was hurt. The school's president says it doesn't appear the people involved are students, and police believe this was a targeted attack. No word on how the victim is doing. A suspended Decatur school guard was arrested last week. Police say they found drugs and a gun. The Herald and Review reports the 24-year-old is on paid suspension after being charged earlier this year. That was for being a felon in possession of a weapon. He's not allowed on school property during his suspension.
Here's an update. The tent city in Springfield could be gone within the next week, or at least that's the plan from Mayor Langfelder. The city will open its winter warming center for the homeless next week. The city partnered with the Salvation Army to provide a bigger space that will allow for more people and more distancing.
But when the Salvation Army facility does open, then that's going to be a requirement. I mean, that's the area that we're offering to them. So we believe we will move them over there, or they'll have to find another place to stay.
The city council will vote on the contract next week. Some council members called it a band-aid on the city's homeless issue, but say they know the city has to pass the contract to provide for the city's homeless.
A village president announces her retirement this week, who just put his hat in the race to take over the job.
Plus this.
It's just a little bit slower.
It's not too late to register to vote. How you can make your voice heard at the polls next week.
WCIA 3 News is brought to you by Menards.
Better access to ambulances and emergency care.
More broadband for small towns.
and rural infrastructure for workers like me. Dick Durbin delivers.
In tough times, it's good to know we have a senator working for all of Illinois. Dick Durbin. He came through for our hospitals and frontline workers, stood up for our farmers and firefighters, and he's never forgotten where he comes from. Dick Durbin, a senator for times like these.
I'm Dick Durbin, and I approve this message.
Your news every hour in prime time is on News Nation on WGN America. News Nation prepared you for how to keep your family safe from COVID during the holidays.
You have to weigh that risk.
And News Nation had the story of a student with a perfect GPA expelled from a Christian school for his sexual orientation. News Nation covers your nation every night starting at 8, 7 Central on WGN America. Go to WGNAmerica.com to find WGN America on your cable or satellite provider.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we live where you live, so we know getting ready for winter is essential. We're your cold weather experts with everything you need to gear up for the cold, snowy weather ahead. Like half off these men's Keen Utility waterproof boots, 25% off zero exposure outerwear for the family, and get your vehicle ready for winter with a new Farm and Fleet titanium battery, $10 off. Plus, buy online and pick up your items in our convenient drive-thru.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Seen this ad attacking Rodney Davis on PPP loans? It's another lie from Madigan Machine politician Betsy Londrigan. The media says that man never applied for a loan. Betsy Londrigan invented a story to smear Rodney's family. A Madigan Machine politician, Betsy Londrigan is dishonest and corrupt. The truth? Rodney's PPP program saved over 2 million Illinois jobs.
Thanks, Rodney, for saving our small business.
I'm Rodney Davis, and I approve this message.
It's the classic politician move.
False. That claim is false.
Rodney Davis lied about his opponent, hoping you wouldn't notice one of his biggest donors owns ComEd. In a years-long bribery scheme, politicians helped ComEd jack up electricity rates, making Illinois homeowners pay a sharp increase and making a fortune for Davis's donors. Classic Rodney Davis, helping himself, not you. House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Live from your local news leader, Jennifer Roscoe, Paul Cicchini, and Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty. You're watching WCIA 3 News at 5.
You have to come in person, register, and vote simultaneously.
Election Day is less than a week away. If you aren't registered to vote, it's not too late.
WCIA 3's Jamie Mays live in our newsroom. So, Jamie, how can people register to vote if they haven't already?
Jennifer, the Macon County Clerk says people who would like to register have to come into the office. They register and then vote right after. The state is in grace period registration now, so you can't go online to register. You can't mail something in either. You need to register in person at the county clerk's office. Election officials are reminding people it's best to complete that process before Election Day.
You can register and vote on Election Day. But because those lines tend to be a little longer and because their staff are typically used to just voting people who are already registered, it's just a little bit slower.
The Macon County Clerk says you have until tomorrow to request a mail-in ballot. If you're waiting until the deadline to ask for that mail-in ballot, he suggests when you get it, fill it out and hand-deliver the ballot to the county clerk's office, or have someone you trust do it. That way you can avoid any uncertainties you may have about it being postmarked by November 3rd. Live in the newsroom, Jamie Mays, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Yeah, use those ballot boxes if you can get to one. All right, Jamie, thank you so much. And the countdown continues until the polls officially open in person here in Illinois. You can see the countdown is ticking.
A trustee in Savoy is announcing his bid for village president. John Brown's running for Joan Dykstra's seat in the April election. Dykstra announced her retirement Monday. Brown served as village trustee for 15 years. He recently retired from being a police officer at the U of I. Brown says he plans to update public safety codes and improve village communications.
Okay, I really want to hear.
Right?
It's killing me that we can see him but can't hear him.
I mean, they're legit going through the practice. You know, you've seen them doing all their, like, you know, the movements they do during all this.
And I mean, they're in uniform, so they're warm.
So take a look at that. They've got their masks on. They're socially distancing because they've got cardboard cutouts between every other row. You see that? Can you see that?
How can they play their instrument with a mask on?
I'm not really sure. That's a great question to hear. I'm going to zoom out even more, and you can see there's a large amount of them that are out there. At least the weather is...
Taking a picture.
Or I don't know, maybe.
All right, I'm going to tweet Barry Hauser right now. We need answers.
We need to know what's going on.
Of course, he's probably busy.
Yeah, he might be a little busy right now. We're going to come back and talk about the weather for them and for the rest of you as we go throughout the course of tonight when we come back.